Sergio is one of the most gifted genetic bodybuilders there ever was.
He was so far advanced over the rest of us. Everybody else could have just posed their ass off, and Sergio could have stood there and he walked away with the contest.
No matter what, I will be forever the myth.
Though Sergio Oliva was in the best shape of his life in the early 70s, he was succeeded handily by Arnold, as one titan faded and a new one rose into the spotlight.
And he competed one-to-one against Sergio several times. The problem with Sergio is that he was dealing with Arnold, who is just the smartest bodybuilder on stage ever.
Arnold Schwarzenegger!
I basically had a goal. I wanted to make the most of my physique and go to the top, win Mr. Olympia. And however long it took, I knew that to get to the top, I'd have to have impeccable conditions for training. Everything had to be perfect, and it was.
Frank basically was very dominant in the late 70s, 77, 78, 79.
(1982) saw Chris Dickerson become the first African American to win the Mr. Olympia after more than a decade of competing. The following year, Samir Banu, the Lion of Lebanon, claimed his Mr. Olympia victory.
I did my homework. I even was more focused because I want this thing so bad,
He came out and he had a Christmas tree back that like nobody had ever seen before, massive arms, and he won the contest.
As I prepared for that competition, I prepared like never before. All of that came together at that 1984 Mr. Olympia. When they raised my arms in victory, man, I felt I was on top of the world then.
The new Mr. Olympia, a big man for Lee Haney.
This Lee Haney, this Lee Haney who's just at that time was a freak, real wide clavicle, little waist, huge back, thick chest.
I talked to Shirley, my wife, I said, I've done 7 Olympias in a row. No one has ever done 7 in a row. And I said to her, well, what do you think about that being it? She looked at me and said, it? What do you mean, it? She said, you gotta do 8. What are you talking about? And so that gave me a fire to go on to do that 8th Olympia.
Today is the day, and everything changes.
When Dorian walked on the stage, we never saw that. What the hell is this? We never saw that kind of mass, that kind of size.
I would one day become Mr. Olympia. Unfortunately for me, I didn't see the shadow coming.
The evolution of bodybuilding changed when Dorian came into the scene.
I was the first guy to compete at the Mr. Olympia in condition over 250 pounds. But I had this drive and I had this system of high-intensity heavy training which has gotten me from a backstreet basement gym in Birmingham in England to be Mr. Olympia.
The torch was passed to another born champion who changed bodybuilding for good, Ronnie Coleman.
Me, Kevin, and Flex see Ronnie Coleman, a guy that we used to not even pay attention to, leapfrog over all of us.
He's the most muscular man the world has ever seen. Mr. Olympia for the 7th straight year.
Ronnie Coleman reigned supreme until 2005, tying Lee Haney's 8 Mr. Olympia wins. Coleman even won 4 Mr. Olympia contests over the man who would, in time, come to eclipse him, Jay Cutler.
We all have dreams when they were kids, and for me, I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I wanted to be the top guy in the sport that I thought was going to be my future.
I never listened to what people say, oh, Ronnie Coleman's the greatest, you're never going to beat this guy, he's never going to be beaten, this and that. I really thought truly I was going to win. I really just wanted to win the Mr. Olympia. I mean, that's what I trained my whole life for.
Of course, my dream was only to be the best I could be, and now I'm standing on top of the world as the best bodybuilder on the planet. So never give up.
I say, well, I think I can beat Jay. Put our heads together, came up with a game plan, man. I mean, went into the Olympia full steam ahead. I just knew I could beat him that show. I knew it wasn't going to be on. It was the battle between me and Jay.
Dexter Jackson!
And then he reinvented himself in 2001. When he walked out, it was like, wow.
Jay Cutler!
Well, he fought for 6 years to wrestle the title away from Ronnie Coleman until he claimed the first one in 06. Won it again in 07 to watch Dexter Jackson take it back. He has reclaimed the Olympia title, one of bodybuilding's most historical moments. He has done something that no prior champion has ever done.
Jay Cutler!
That's the cool thing about Jay, is that at some point in time, pretty much everyone has asked for advice from Jay, whether they want to admit it or not. They all have come running to Jay like he's God, because they know he's done it right. And he's done it with class.
I truly feel that my type of physique is gonna recharge the sport a little bit. I think my physique is still growing, so who knows how big I may get. It was about being more aesthetic, but yet having the muscles round, like very cartoonish, and having sharp conditioning to make those muscles stand out even larger than life. I was very confident because I just knew in my heart that I'm gonna shock the world. I just remember Jay shaking my hand and just saying, "You're the king now."
Now you are the king.
Everything. He ties it all in together. I think today, where we are right now, he's certainly a good champion. Where we are here today in the evolution, I think it's bodybuilding is positioned right now the strongest that it's ever been in the history.